Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I wanna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Corsicana, Texas. What's up, Dallas Fort Worth? What's up, Houston, Texas? Welcome back to another episode of the Burning Coals podcast. We are your show hosts. I go by the name of Miss Know-It-All Reactions. Give it up. We got our guy to the left on the side of me, right there next to the logo. We got our guy B-Dub, Bougie Weirdo. Give it up for Bougie Weirdo. Right up on the Bougie Weirdo, we got the first lady of the Burning Coals podcast. She goes by the name of Educated Queen. Give it up for Educated Queen. Yes, indeedy. And next, making her debut on the Burning Coals podcast.
Hey.
And y'all gonna definitely be able to see her, a lot of her on the show. So, but she goes by the name of B Love. Give it up for B Love. Yes, indeedy. Give it up for B Love. And last but not least, our boy, gentleman, Jamal, you know him, the same place, same face, same place. Gentleman Jamal, so he'll definitely be on to the show here shortly, all right? So we are the Burning Coals podcast. Here is where we have fire interviews. We do hot topics, burning questions. We have serious conversation, and we also say what needs to be said. So give it up. Yes, indeed. So now, I have to say this, okay? We do have a comment section. So if you want to comment on tonight's show, and the topics that we're talking about and the topics that we're discussing, make sure you go to the comment section. You can put your comments in the comment section, and we will definitely read your comments right out loud, right on the show. And if you feel froggy, you want to get on the show, you want to come on and give your shout outs and give your thoughts and opinions, or you want to say, B-Dub got a Houston Texans hat on that they never did nothing, you can definitely come on the show and say that. You definitely come on the show and say that, okay?
Last time I checked, y'all was watching the Super Bowl from the couch just like this.
So if y'all want to come on and talk that noise, definitely do that. But make sure you know for a fact that we do shoot from the hips, and I promise you, we don't hold nothing back at all. So that's how we do it. That's how we roll, all right? So we got a good show lined up for you guys tonight, a nice jam-packed show, and we hope you guys enjoy it. And also, make sure you share the content. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and let everybody know exactly where to go to show on the Burning Coals podcast, whatever, okay? So before we get started, the cast, panel, how's everybody doing on this Tuesday night?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Nah, man, we ready to rock and roll.
Hey, I'm above ground and beneath ground, so I'm good.
You say you're above ground, but not beneath it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you went got vexed up, huh?
Use a lie. Use a lie. I ain't vexing this thing up, baby. No, I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Boy. It's yeah, man. I can't wait to get into to discuss that or whatever. But you know what, man? You know what? Since the last time we talked, which was yesterday, but man, there's been so much going on, in social media. I mean, it is a whole lot going on, man. And you guys, speaking of, you guys make sure you go and watch the reaction video that we did yesterday. The reaction video, I believe this was the Michael B. Jordan one. Yeah, and be looking out for the reaction video that we did to Deion Sanders. That's going to be coming up as well. So I promise you guys, I don't want to miss none of that or whatever. So,
good stuff.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming in. So, man, it's Tuesday night, and we're looking forward to it, man. Like EQ said, hey, we at least we above ground and not beneath it. So, we're looking forward, and I'm excited about it as well. B-Dub. So, B-Love. Go ahead and let everybody know what's going on, B-Love.
Oh, it's a lot going on. A whole lot. Some I agree with, some I don't.
Yeah. I'm talking about with you making your debut. How you feeling about that, B-Love?
Oh, I'm super excited about this. I'm ready to get my debate on and see if I can win some of these debates with my cast members. I kind of lost a little bit last night, just a little bit though. Poquito. Yeah.
No.
I'm ready.
You held it down.
Yeah,
but I love it though. I'm
Two.
excited. I know that that we can always find a way to agree to disagree here on the Burning Cold. So hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I
But
think she ran G-Man off. He's scared.
man,
He's scared. He's scared. G-Man done got scared. He not
Him
he's
and
yeah.
straight
that
out the
ugly
can.
Cowboys hat.
He know
Now,
we from the can. He outnumbered anyway. So yeah.
yeah. But now, be love. You know what though? For real though, we glad that we had you on the show. You know, you definitely bring that different type of energy. You know, so you know, we just we just excited about it. And yeah, man, we already knew what time it was when we brought you on. But you made your grand appearance yesterday, and it was deeply noted. I can tell you that. It was deeply noted. You that be
Appreciate
love?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I
problem at
can.
all. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm super excited. I'm ready. It's always good to be able to see things from a different point of view and be able to get a visual of some how someone else feels. You might not be able to feel that same thing, but if you just sit and listen and comprehend and listen, not to just respond, but truly listen, then you can kind of, you might not be able to 100% feel, but you'll understand and you'll respect it more. So
Right. But be love. I'm gonna tell you something though. You know, a lot of folks, you know, when it comes to, people like to do stuff in private, and but when you put it out here in the social media platform and on podcasts and stuff like that in the open public, a lot of people get kind of afraid and terrified to actually do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
yeah,
one thing when you're talking behind, in private and you having discussions like we be having or whatever with these serious conversations, but nobody want to put it out there in public or whatever because some people get afraid of the criticism that come with it. A lot of people don't like to be on camera and stuff like that or whatever. So it's different. There's a lot of reasons. The reason why a lot of people just don't really put it out there like that, or whatever. So it's a whole nother game when you actually putting it out there for people to view and to critique you and say, hey, you wrong on this or you right on that or whatever. It's different stuff. I mean, it's a different animal there.
yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct.
Yeah, it's a different animal. So
Hmm.
hands down to everybody who actually just do this and make sure that they put it on. So that's cool. So, but we got a jam-packed show for you guys tonight, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the conversation. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. So the tonight show we're talking about generational health is your wealth. So this has been a trending topic that we all decided to want to talk about because one of EQ had brought up that there was a Facebook posted one of the classmates, one of our friends that we all have in common. He had mentioned this post about generational wealth in a post, and he was basically saying, "Why come we don't have this type of discussion in our family? Why we don't really talk about generational health versus generational wealth? We don't put that same energy into promoting generational health at all or whatever. Because at the end of the day, your health is your wealth, and it's very important that we actually make sure that our generation to come have a deeper understanding on how important that is, whatever. Because wealth is not everything. Matter of fact, there's a whole lot of wealthy people that right now, they got all the money in the world or whatever, but their health is fading at a rapid rate. And I know I've met some people that's wealthy. They would do anything to be in your shoes to have your health, but they got all the money in the world or whatever, but they're not really happy with it because their health is deteriorating. So, with that being said, we can open it up to everybody. Um, how do you guys feel about when you heard about the generation of health? How important that is when it comes to sharing that information with our youth or with our generations versus wealth? We're gonna open it up for discussion.
Well, first of all, nobody talks about it, like you said. So it's super important for those that do understand and to try to put that message out there best you can. But so I don't want to start off negative, but
but let's go ahead
it's
and
just
do it.
reality. So like y'all know, I say all the time, there's right and then there's reality.
Right.
You know, some things, this might be what's right, but this is what it really is. And what it really is that we have to focus on future generations. We still have to work on ourselves. Don't get it twisted, because we can do some things, but we can't go backwards. Time only goes forward. So the only thing we can really do is focus on future generations. And I'll tell you, man, just from personal experience, God told me something one time when I was young. I was, not too long out of high school, still in peak physique. And this dude was like 50-some years old at the time. Looked like he was 25. And he said he learned from his father. His father told him this. He said, you can either take pills your whole life or the rest of your life. And what he mean is, since he was young, he been taking vitamins, he been taking supplements, and just working out, just doing certain things. So now he 50-some years old. He went to the military too. Went to the military, did 25 years, got out, looked like he's about to go to the military. Like he literally was looking like he was in his early 20s. And he said he just have a regimen of, taking his vitamins every day, making sure he getting all his minerals, nutrients, proteins, and stuff like that. Because he said if you don't, at a certain point in your life, you're going to start taking pills for the rest of your life. Blood pressure medicine, all kind of stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Diabetes medicine, the sugars and all that kind of stuff. So, when you're young, it don't always hit. Because like I said, at that time, I'm like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. But do you see me? Do you see this thing right here? But now here I am taking pills for arthritis and all other kind of stuff. So trying to get my body as best as I can. It's never going to get back to where it was because you got to start from the beginning. But now I know. So now I have things set and I already know how I'm going to do things with my kids so that they don't have to be like me.
Right.
There's a lot of things about me that my kids should emulate and should want to be, but that's not one of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 40-some years old, 40-some years young, because 40s is still young, and I already, have to take different type of medications for ailments and stuff. That's not the way to go.
See, you offended Mr. Know-It-All. Mr. Know-It-All is he got gout.
He get on my nerves.
High cholesterol.
I rebuke that. I rebuke all that, Jimmy. I rebuke
Don't come
all
on here
that.
with that foolishness
But
tonight.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something though. Don't you guys think that in the low income areas we are already behind the 8 ball because of the different type of grocery stores, all the kind of foods they put into our grocery stores, whatever. Because listen, they get like, okay, let's say for instance Walmart, okay, and I'm talking about Walmart or whatever versus because in every low income area, there's gonna always be a Walmart in every low income area. All right, and then when they put inside Walmart or whatever, they put all the bad meats, manager specials. Where you talking about manager special, you get a whole quarter
Leg
pound
quarters.
chickens, leg quarters for $3.99. You got 12 of them in there or whatever. You know what I mean? All that stuff is bad for you. The
I
meat's
hope there ain't
bad.
no 12-legged chickens.
Man, listen. Now I'm talking about 12 leg quarters.
Oh, I
They put
got you.
12 leg quarters for $3.99. They put this manager special on there, whatever. That chicken been sitting there forever and a day.
Nah, that's churches with them 12-legged chickens.
Yeah,
man.
Well,
go ahead, B-Love. Go ahead.
It's kind of, and I'm here. I don't want to start by saying making up an excuse, but again, I'm with Weirdo when you basically want to ask the question. It's kind of like work-life balance. How do you balance your income and your eating habits? Because and when you say generational, we had grandma at home and grandpa worked, but now you can't. and honest to God truth, unless you and even people that do have degrees, you really need kind of like two incomes to make it work. And then if you think back when even kind of before our generation, our parents weren't just sports fanatic. Like they didn't play every sport, because I look at my household. Jabril played football, basketball, track into something, and I'm like, we never like our house was always going. So the most convenient thing for us was fast food. Let's just grab something on the way, or let's sit and eat here because we're too exhausted to go and sit down and say, okay, let's cook a decent meal at home. And then when you do cook a decent meal at home, it's something quick, to just to say I didn't eat out today.
Right.
I cooked at home. And so I just feel like a lot of that plays into it. It's like the times have changed and everything is moving so fast. And it's like, when do you have time to slow down? Or can you slow down? Really, not when do you have time. Can you actually slow down and say, I'm on meal prep this week?
Right.
When do you have time to meal prep?
Right.
And I know that it sounds like an excuse, but when you're exhausted, so I know you have to make time, but yet and still, and then you also want to harp on the prices of food now. I mean, to eat healthy is very, very expensive.
Most definitely.
Versus
It is.
$12
like,
salad.
yeah, and I'm like, what? I mean, the salads, and even if you're going out to eat fast food, you can like go to Whataburger for prime example. The number one is way cheaper than a salad. A number 7 salad is cheaper. So if you're trying to quote unquote save money from buying expensive meals, when you go, hey, just get this one right here. We're fine. We'll go home. We'll eat a salad when we can find a salad that's affordable. Pretty much. So
that's facts.
Yeah, that is.
It's just it's about balancing it out. Can I truly afford to eat healthy every day? And then I'm like, I wish I could really find someone that's the age, like older way, like a great to ask, what did y'all do to eat as healthy as you did? Because like even now in Corsicana, you can't even grow a garden without them coming and saying, hey, you need to, you can't do this. Right. You can't have a garden in your yard, from what I was told.
Right.
So
yeah.
How do how do you maintain it?
Growing no garden, no Corsicana. Corsicana, come on, man.
He is such a hater. You just mad because you ain't from Corsicana.
No.
Shut up.
Life is about choices and trade-offs.
Well, the reason
you choose to spend money on what you choose to spend it on. You don't.
Okay, but hold on. Let me break it out.
Okay, go ahead.
And let me break this down too. When we say generational health and wealth, and hey, since we on here and we speaking the truth, if our people or our greats and parents would stop with the mentality of, I'm not leaving my kids nothing, then maybe they can help along the way with, okay, mama can stay at home and daddy can go and work, because guess what? My mama left me a $200,000-$300,000 policy to where I was able to invest that money so I could focus more on my children and my household. But our families, and I'm not going to say ours, but a lot of African American elders don't feel that it's necessary to leave their children anything when they pass off. But how do you think others grow? They grow and they're able to sit at home. They're able to have the credit that they have and the things that they have because things have been passed down to them.
Right.
We're pretty much like left with nothing. How many?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
we
not
left with
only
debt.
our
You gotta
debt,
have
the debt that
GoFundMe.
the debt that hell they left us when they died. Like, I don't want your debt. You could at least leave a policy to where you could pay these insurance to pay the hospital off or whoever, but we're left with nothing. And I'm not saying that, I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just being real. That's how you grow generationally, by leaving something to
Right.
help
Right.
with that.
But that's
Right.
why I said we gotta focus on the future, because this is the thing. We and I agree with you on a lot of the stuff that you said, especially as far as the mentality. Number one, we think wealth is supposed to go backwards. It don't. It go down, not up. Because mama and grandma and them and grandpa, they waiting on you to make it so you can take care of them.
Right.
But my thing is
Exactly.
this: if you ain't got nothing to leave me, you going to the old folks' home. That's just being real. Because I gotta make sure I'm
You've
setting
been
up
doing
for
for
my
70
kids.
years.
Hey, I'm setting up for my kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna put my
So
mom in the nursing home, but hey, but I
We
get you. I feel
gotta
you.
figure it out or something. But in wealth, just generational wealth, that's something new to us anyway. We ain't never heard that term
Right.
until about 5 years ago.
Right.
Now everybody think they know how to create generational wealth,
Right.
when it's really a very long and slow process. First of all, it's not about creating generational wealth. It's about creating the foundation to build generational wealth. It's in the title, generational.
Right.
The people are, oh, I'm trying to create generational wealth for my family. You can't.
Right.
Because if you got all the money, I don't care if you got $100 million. If you leave $100 million to your kids and don't set up no type of foundation, that money gonna be gone within a few years. It's about setting up the foundation to build wealth. And the same goes with health. You have to start. So again, like with me, things have changed in my household because they have to. Like, it's real now.
Right.
Because I know what I want my kids to do and not do. So whatever we got to do, whatever we got to sacrifice to make sure we setting the proper standard. So now he's growing up into this. So it's not about trying to figure it out, because by the time he get grown and on his own, this is his lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So we have to at some point start a standard and a pattern and start building forward, and just understand that we can't go backwards. I can't get my cartilage back in my knees. I should have listened when old boy told me 20 years ago, take your vitamins. I didn't.
Right.
I can't go back, but I can't be mad about that either. I made the decisions I made. Only thing I can do now is make sure I'm setting a proper example, and not only setting an example, setting a base and a standard for my son to follow, so that he don't end up in the same situation.
Right. So you guys go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say too, in addition to, leaving generational wealth, like you said, it starts at generations, of course, and you build from it. However, we got to make sure our mental health is intact too.
most
Right.
definitely.
Right.
Our
Right.
financial health, our emotional health, our physical health, our mental health has to be intact. And that's where our physical health, starts. Everything trickles down from the mental aspect. So once we get those things intact, get our mental health, because people don't think mental health issues that exist in the Black community, and it does. A lot of people
Well,
that we know or in our families have been mentally and emotionally traumatized. So
well,
go ahead.
I can tell you who don't think mental health is real. The court system, when it comes to us, the
No,
court
they
they don't care nothing about your mental
Ray
health.
ain't
I'm
got
gonna be
no
honest with
mental
you.
health issues.
No, if Ray Ray say he's seeing
Y'all
things
look
and
at that look at that picture.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
right. Hey, if Ray say I got multiple personalities, they gonna say, you know what? Which one of Ray Ray? All of Ray can go to
Right.
prison.
And
We don't
see,
care nothing
this
about
is,
Ray got no mental health.
because To be
There's no
totally
defense
honest
for
with
that
you,
for us.
right. A
Huh?
lot of people who grew up in poverty, who grew up in abusive homes or single parent homes or whatever, who were battered, beaten, abused, and all that, that affects people. That affects people generationally. Because if
Mhm.
mama has never dealt with her mental issues or her trauma, then she passes it on to children. This is why me and my mom got into a debate about this. Cussing kids out is not mentally healthy. It doesn't correct behavior. You pass on that trauma, that emotional damage. You pass that on, and these kids are angry. I deal with it every day, all day at school. Kids come to school crying, feeling defeated because they done got cussed out, because they,
Mhm.
sleepy, because they tired, they didn't get nothing to eat last night, or whatever, or they left their backpack, whatever. See, we can't create health from damage. You can't create health and wealth from trauma. No, we got to
Most
tackle some
definitely.
things. We got to tackle head on, up front, whatever. You got to tackle these things because all
You
these things tie in together.
Right.
and I think with that, I think you just hit like the nail on the head with that. Because if you're not mentally stable, you don't care about anything else. You don't
That's
care
right.
about your health. You don't care about your wealth. I had a conversation the other day at work with one of my coworkers, and she was just saying how um her sister, like, they taught her family, her older, like her aunts and grandmothers and great aunts and all of them would sit around and talk about her sister and how she had um basically she was a hoe, the sister was. And but nobody's talking about how the sister was molested by two of the uncles. But y'all swept that under the rug, you
Right.
Mhm.
know. So
That's
you
another issue
you
we got to
you
deal with.
so now you swept that under the rug, but then everybody wants to talk about her hoish ways, but don't nobody want to talk about the two uncles that molested her.
And that's
Yeah.
You
that never.
know,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
and so they don't think that the two intertwine with each other. Why is she so promiscuous like she is?
Mhm.
Right.
So
And see,
can we, and so that goes to say that the generations are not being fair to the ones that's coming after them, because you help create
that problem.
these mental
Mhm.
vibes, these unstable people, because back in the day they were so used to sweeping everything under the rug. And
Yep.
now that it came out to the forefront, instead of saying, okay, taking some responsibility for fault, because it's not you, you point the finger and you blame and you laugh, but you had all to do with that. You
Right.
helped, you played a part in it.
Mhm.
So if the older generation, if they're continuing to sweep things under the rug, and then now you don't want the little girl around you because you mad because your husband has molested her, and oh, she could have got him in trouble, she could have done this. so
Could
Yeah.
have.
so
Yep.
now so
Yep.
now we're
Yep.
talking about a aunt that's keeping, since we want to talk about health, she's keeping her out of the kitchen from learning how to cook for her family, learning
Mhm.
how to create balanced meals for her family, because she's mad about something else that should have been brought to the forefront, but
Yep.
because you selfish and you trying to keep your family, and I ain't
Mhm.
gonna say in great needs, in danger, because that's basically what it is. Because if he
Right.
molesting your niece, then most likely he's probably molesting your kids.
Right.
But
Right.
Ooh.
you want to keep those things swept up under the rug. But when she's not able to provide for her family, when she's leaving her kids and she's not cooking for her kids, and her kids go to the dentist and come out with all silver teeth, look like the opposite of what Lil Wayne look like by the mouth, because
See,
these generational things are keeping these younger adults from being who they really want to be, because they never got the correct mental health help that they needed to move forward. And it's easy for some people to do it, but some people just can't deal with the fact that this happened to me when I was younger. I had no protection. And then they go out and they try to be citizens. They try to be try to be good, healthy citizens, but they can't move forward because they're stuck, and they're still stuck on that why.
Right.
Why
Right.
didn't I
Right.
get this? Why
Right.
didn't someone help me? And hell, like me, I'm like you said, arthritis in the knee. Shit. Why didn't somebody tell me about,
Okay.
maybe taking an extra block or two instead of taking a shortcut when I'm walking home from Drain? I
Right.
needed that help.
Okay. You
I
heard me?
needed that. And now, my leg, it just give out on you. Hell, I'm only 42. I ain't got no business. My knee ain't got no business giving out on me.
Okay.
But I mean,
Right.
it's like the circle of life.
But
All of
how
it.
old are we talking about though? Because here's my thing on that. Again, everything you said, I agree with. This is the only addition I would add to that. At a certain age, which I say 25. That's my number, but everybody might have. But I think by the time you hit 25, or I would even say it like this: once you're old enough to recognize the trauma that was done to you, it now becomes your responsibility to fix it. The person that traumatized you, whether we want to hear it or not, or like it or not, it's not their responsibility to fix it. They did it to you. So, first of all, the likelihood of them trying to reverse it is not likely. That's
okay,
just
but then
that rob you and stab you. You want them to call the ambulance for you. They're not calling the ambulance for you. They robbed you and stabbed you on purpose. They're not going to help you. So
totally go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like at a certain point, once we recognize that it's there, then I think it then becomes your responsibility to start trying to fix it. Now, I'm not saying it's an overnight thing, like, oh well, I know I was traumatized, so now I'm good. No, but it's like, okay, I know this is affecting me, so let me start looking into, or start at least asking the question, what can I do? Talking to somebody, getting therapy, something like you said. I don't know if you EQ said Black people don't go to therapy. We need to. The barbershop is good, but the barbershop has limits. At a certain point, you need to talk to somebody who's been trained to deal with those types of things, and that can help you out. But other than that, I mean, I definitely agree with what you said though.
And then to piggyback on what you said, some people don't even know that that's what channels their anger. Some people they feel like, okay, it was hidden, nobody said anything about it, I'm gonna move on. But some people really, honestly, truly do not know why they're angry. They don't know that. They just know I'm pissed off, and that's it. And can't know. It goes back to what I was just saying a few minutes ago. It's easier for some people than it is for others. And you just have people that it's kind of like, oh, I'm so mad, I'm so angry, but you can't get it out of them. Like they don't. It's pretty much like, damn, you have to be hypnotized just to figure out where your anger started. Why are you so mad? Why? Because some things can happen to some people when they're so young, and then the parents have enough time to mask it to where you don't remember it. I've talked to adults that literally say they don't remember anything about their childhood. Nothing. Can tell you nothing about their childhood. All they know is that they're pissed off. They're mad, but they can't remember anything. They can't remember how to cook. They don't know, not how to cook, but they don't remember the things that they were taught, like cooking biscuits from scratch or anything, things like that we know for a fact that your grandmother did because she was known for cooking from scratch. And so I know she had y'all in the kitchen, but because things happened to them and it was masked, they're angry, but they can't remember anything. And so how do you deal with someone that has a problem but honestly does not feel like they have a problem? It's kind of like somebody being mean and they really honestly don't think that they mean, but they mean as hell. How do you deal with those type of people? How do you say that's okay? And it's not okay. Like you said, they need some real professional help. But how many of us go to get professional help?
Not a lot of us. You're right. You're right, B Love. G
What's the
Man.
famous quote? Shit.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Right. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. G Man. You there? So what you think? What you think about all that, G Man?
I don't know what the topic is no more.
We talk.
Talking about health, facts to food to mental health.
We talking about generational health. I think B Love was saying that in the beginning of everything she was saying that that sometimes we are so much in a hurry right now, as far as like with the way we live and trying to it's hard to actually be able to come home and try to prepare a healthy meal versus going out and going to a restaurant and going and eating and so on and so forth, whatever like that. And also that sometimes that eating out healthy, when you eat healthy, whatever, man, it can definitely be expensive, because of how the cost of food is increasing.
You're not gonna like the way I'm about to approach this
Well, go ahead, approach it.
Tread lightly.
Fuck that. I'm G-Man. Because this is the thing.
Can't stand you.
This is the thing. Life is about choices and trade-offs. We talk about having the money to buy fucking lettuce. When you look at what black people spend their money on, right? And you telling me we can't buy fucking lettuce over a fucking a Happy Meal or don't play me. Now I've been out where I'm at. I ain't gonna tell you what, but I've been having to, I've been eating clean because out of necessity, in a sense. I've saved way more money than eating out every fucking day, and I feel better, and I've lost weight because of it. Yeah, some of the good shit. If you go to a restaurant and maybe order, but you buy a big ass bag of salad or whatever, some chicken, some rice for a week in bulk. You trust me, you ain't spending no fucking one like as y'all said, a fucking number one or number two is $10 by itself for one person. You talking about feeding a family? Come on, you can't tell me that shit is more expensive. No, and if it is, what's more important? You eating better, right? Living healthier, or you trying to get to this fucking Beyonce concert, or you trying to drive this kind of car, or you trying to get this purse, or you trying to wear these shoes, or you trying to stunt on social media.
Ooh.
You got the fucking money. It's what you choose to do with the money. It's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make. And it's time now for black people using this. Listen, our ancestors they were forced to do with what they were left with. We are the richest of black generations that has ever lived thus far. And we're saying, well, we can't do it. You can do what you want to do. Sacrifice this for that, and you can get it. All this victim mentality has to sometimes stop, but we're going to do this forever. Stop it. It's cap. You can eat better if you want to, right? But you want to do this, but you also want to stunt and front and live this lifestyle that you can't afford to impress people. You spend the money you don't have to impress people you don't even like. But you telling me you can't buy a salad. I ain't listening to that. I just ain't, because I know better. And y'all know better. But it feels good to say, well, we can't afford a salad. You can afford a salad. You can afford a salad if you want to. You can afford what you want. It's funny, you can find money to get the other stuff that you can't afford. When it comes to food, we can't do it. So yeah, this is why we're addicted to medications and all this other stuff, because we choose a different. Now some stuff is hereditary, sure, right? Sometimes you're born with a bad gene, right? Roll the dice. Some stuff is by choice, and you can keep okay. Let's just keep with this mentality. We can never change. You're gonna pass that down to your generation. They're gonna pass it down to the next generation. When does it end? It's supposed to end with us because we got the knowledge. We're in the information age. everything you can Google. You can grow a garden in your backyard. Please show me in a statute where a city says you can't put a raised bed in your backyard and grow your own if you wanted to. I ain't growing nothing. I can go my ass right down to Walmart, Kroger, Albertsons, and buy some damn veggies if I want to. Buy a big bag, it'll last me a few days. Don't do that. You just don't want to. Shit is nasty. Say something like that. Be honest. All this, I can't afford it. When you dress to the nine with them pictures, you dress to the guys, you at these restaurants, you know, you at Salt Bay.
Yeah.
So you can't buy a 2-person meal at Salt Bay for under $300. You telling me you can't get a salad? Stop. Let's
But
just
But a lot of times we guilty of like having a whole lot of refrigerator full of food, G-Man and B-Love and everybody on the panel. We have a refrigerator full of food, won't go in there and cook it, and go out and go and spend money on, Chick-fil-A or Raising Cane's, whatever. I'm guilty of it. You see what I'm saying? But you only eat what you know, though, G-Man. You eat what you know, what's given down to you.
No,
Hold on, because
if you don't know, you learn. You have to learn. You can't keep.
I agree with
Okay.
that. But I don't. But see, okay, listen. Like there's Haitian. Like I've never eaten Haitian food in my life. All right, I've tried it, but I didn't grow up on no Haitian food. But man, right now with the Haitian foods I've been eating with the culture difference on how they clean their chicken and so on and so forth, whatever, it's totally different from what I grew up on, like on soul food, a plantation plate with hog maws and chitlins and pig's feet, neck bones and fried chicken, and that's what I use, and hamburgers and barbecue. I've never had or never knew nothing about the Haitian culture on their dishes, whatever. So, and I would prefer to eat that because it don't make you as drowsy. It don't make you like you just don't want to be productive or none of that at all, man. So I didn't know anything about it, is what I'm saying. I never knew nothing about it until it was taught to me, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
You used to live together. We didn't eat none of that shit.
No, we did worse. We did worse.
No, it wasn't no worse.
Well, we did.
Hey, but
Go ahead,
okay,
Doug.
so I see both points, but
Yeah.
here's my thing. So we also have to talk about Miss Nordahl touched on it earlier in the hood, because where I live, there's like 6 grocery stores within the 2-mile radius of my house. Like I can literally walk to Kroger, walk to HEB. There's a Walmart, neighborhood Walmart. There's a short drive, another Kroger, another HEB, a Fiesta. So, but in the hood, we talk about no grocery. There's either one or none. Like, and because I remember when I was a kid, like where we stayed, we didn't have no grocery store. We had a few mom and pops here and there that had a few things, but you had to catch 2 buses to get to Kroger to try to get some groceries. But
And course,
saying that, I also understand too, because like again, for myself, I know how I grew up. So I said, what do I have to do to not put this on my kids? So I made sure that, first of all, and we got to talk about this too. This is a part of it. Who you choose to connect yourself to is a part of it.
quit choosing.
My wife, you talk about cooking from scratch. My wife cook everything on the earth from
that
scratch.
can provide you with some food instead of choosing a dude because he cute and whatever. He got swag, but your ass can't get to a grocery store talking about he your boo.
Because the thing about it,
and then you crying because you didn't get nothing for Valentine's Day. Then you crying because you didn't get nothing for Christmas. But you talking about you can't get a salad. Y'all missing me with this. I'm gonna get out of this.
but no, you have to. You do have to. That plays a part in it too. Because like I said, my wife is a great cook, and I don't remember who said it earlier. We talked about the ancestors. How did they do it? Well, they was cooking from scratch. So they knew what they was putting into their food, because it's not the same. It's not created equal. A burger made at home is not the same as a burger you get from McDonald's. When you can go to the grocery store and buy pure beef, 90-10 beef, Whereas, and I learned this from my wife way back in the day when she used to work in fast food. A burger only has to be 40% beef in order for the company to legally be able to claim it as all beef. So when you see McDonald's or some of these places say all beef patties, that means it's at least 40% beef. What is that other 60%? We have no clue. But if I go to the store and I buy some pure 90-10 beef, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly how much. I know to put a pinch of salt on there, not to bury it in salt. So I'm saying, so yes, I think we definitely have to take responsibility. Like I said, once you start to know better, you have to begin the process of doing better. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have to start the process. However, I do understand too that some people are not in that position yet. So what do they do? What do the people do that's in the hood that don't have a grocery store? They got to go 10 miles to get to the nearest grocery store. And once you get there, they're going to price gouge you on bad food. Like, we got the good lettuce. They got the wilted lettuce. As soon as you buy it, it's gone. The next day it's wilted, you know.
Better not wash it out too long. It line to melt.
Right.
So I mean, I see both sides of it, but I do think it's incumbent on us that do know to spread that information.
You gotta pivot.
But let's all just come back to reality really, really quick and just say from our household, because I know everybody, mama, don't say this. You either eat what I cook or your ass don't eat at all.
That was then.
But we're still talking about, and I'm gonna say this. That may have been then, but that still exists now. Because everybody can't afford to go out and purchase salad. I don't know if you have children or not, but if you go try to purchase a salad, you got what?
I got a ton of them.
Okay, well, I don't know if they live with you or not, but I know this from a parental standpoint. You got some people that cannot afford to do that. You either eat what I cook, or you don't eat at all. Go to bed hungry.
Always the case.
It's not always the case. It's not always the case.
That's the respect of the population who can't afford what the other ones have. That's the way it's designed. Everybody's not going to eat off the same table.
You're right. You're exactly right. So then, therefore, why is your argument that you can afford this, but you can't afford that? It's some people that cannot afford half.
If you look at where they hang out at, when they go out, they go clubbing. They wear nice.
But that's not everybody. You're talking about one group of people. Everybody is not like that. You have some people that are 100% responsible with their money and with their household, so they do what's best for their household. They don't wear designer clothes. Their kids may wear shoes from Walmart, but they know that I can take these noodles and make a whole spread, and guess what? I'm satisfied as a parent at the end of the night because my children ate.
Yeah.
So everybody's situation is not the same. Everybody don't buy designer clothes, designer shoes. Everybody ain't driving a Benz. You know, some people do have their priorities in order. They just can't afford to be as healthy as they want to be.
You can never speak for everybody.
You're right. You never can.
So that's not what we're here for. We're supposed to be here to uplift and push the
culture. Absolutely correct.
Instead of like, okay, we know where we've been. We know we come up for nothing. We need to be developing strategies on how we need to get to the next level instead of sitting there talking about, well, we never, okay, we got that. We've spent so many 500, 600 years we've been on this, we ain't got. Okay, at some point, somebody has to say it's time to move the ball forward.
You're absolutely correct.
Next? Yeah, we got to focus on the what next. And I think it also, it depends on, you know, what we're talking about too, because if you're trying to go and buy a fresh salad made at the deli, that's $7, $8. If you're trying to feed a whole family of 3, 4, 5, yeah, that would be a lot. But if you go over to the veggie section, they got them bags of salad for like $1.50. You can get about 10 of them things, because that's what we do. That's what we. because we keep it for in the time.
Yes,
So
Costco, Sam's, buy that big ass thing for $10. You
like I talked about earlier, making changes for my son, setting a different example, right? So that's what we do. We keep those little cheap $1.50 bag salads on deck at all times. So when my wife cook, if she cooks, she cook, cool. But she might not feel like cooking, or she might have something going on. Just dump half the bag in a bowl. We got our
Man.
George Foreman grill. Throw a couple of thighs on there. 5 minutes later, you got your chicken salad, and it might have cost you $2 at best.
Yeah.
So I that's why I said I do understand. Like we do have to start asking ourselves what next. We can't
Exactly.
continue to talk about the problem. I definitely agree with that. We have to talk
Man.
about the what next.
And it goes
Trying
to
figure
back
out how to help those that are in those situations that you're talking about, because it's legit. There are some people that are just they doing everything as right as they can, but it's just still not working out. But
y'all quit squeezing out them babies, taking all the money. You eat the one that you got.
Make me sick.
I think there's more people that fall into Gentleman Jamal's category than that category. Both categories are real, but I'm gonna be honest. I do think because we see it.
And it goes back to what you just said.
What they drive and stuff like that, and then say,
most definitely.
"Oh, I need a living wage. Oh, they need to raise this, or we can't afford to do this." So both groups are real, but this is my personal opinion. I think it's more what G-Man said. I think there's
Most
more
definitely.
people out there.
And we do see that a whole lot, but then you can't forget those that are truly honestly trying. But then it goes back to what you said earlier. That's why you need to surround yourself with more people that and it don't even have to be somebody that's out of your situation. It could be somebody that's in your situation that was brought up properly and know how to eat to say, sister, I understand, you might be struggling, but this is what I do for my family of 6. I go by this, that, and the other, and my children are healthy. They barely go to the doctor because I can't afford a doctor bill. So I have to know what I need to do in order to be able to keep my pocketbook down and my children's health up. So surround yourself with people so that they understand and they know, because some people, a lot of our situations in the Black community too is also pride. Nobody wants to know that their children are eating noodles every damn night, because why? Because the person that's driving the Benz and they kids ain't eating at night. They ain't they not talking. Or when they do find out that your kids eat noodles every night, what are they doing? Running their mouth. Girl, her kids, somebody need to call CPS on her. Her kids, they don't ate a damn spread. You know what I'm saying? So that goes a long way. It's about putting yourself in the position to be able to grow and surround yourself with people that do know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's correct. It's right for you to choose not to eat healthy or to eat healthy. I'm saying surround yourself because if you know better, eventually you'll do better.
No wonder.
But if you don't know,
wonder.
A kid can eat anything. We was young,
But
we ate fast food. We ain't gain no weight. When you young, you can eat whatever. It's when you start to get of a certain age, you may want.
But that's our generation. You can't do that now because cancer is more in the foods now. Shit, that's what you got so many. The cancer rate for children now is way higher, of course, than what it was when we were growing up, because they hadn't started injecting the food as much as they did. As much as they do now when we were growing up. They know that that's the go-to. So that's why you have so many commercials advertising so many children's restaurants or restaurants for children, because that's where they start. They inject the food there. So instead of a kid, it's like you just said, it's about what whatever the kids want to do nowadays, that's the beat that the parents are marching to. So if the kids say, if the parents know we got a refrigerator full of food, but the kids say, Mama, I want McDonald's, guess what the hell the parents getting up to do now? They not like our parents. Hell no, you're going to get your ass in there and go find you something to eat in that refrigerator, instead of saying, let me get up and let's go to McDonald's. Because that's what the kid has a taste for tonight. They don't want a salad. They want McDonald's. So
that right there, I mean, cut you off. That's the biggest problem right there.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. until this kid right here turned 21, he don't have no decisions.
That part.
I don't give a
Right.
shit what he want. Ain't no I want this. See,
Exactly.
That's the problem, because this is what a lot of people do. People have kids before they are fully set and mentally ready, and they still dealing with, like Q was talking about earlier, dealing with their own trauma. And this is what people do. You had a mama or a daddy or both that said, hey, you eat what we cook, that's it, that's all. And they made sure you ate the right stuff. They made sure you had greens on your plate. You ate vegetables with your protein, with a little bit of carb. Everything's good. So, but when you get older and you have kids, what do we hear people say all the time? Let's be real. I'll give my kids everything they want, because when I was young,
I ain't
my
had
mama
it.
was mean.
Right.
My mama was strict. So I make sure I do whatever. And we do the same thing with clothes, with material items. You see these kids. My son don't own a pair of shoes. He is a fucking baby. But I see people on Instagram and people I know personally in real life, kids 2, 3, 4 months old, got 8 pair of Jordans.
Right.
Hey, to each his own, do what you do.
Can't afford
Not over here. Because that money you spent on them 8 pair of Jordans, I go on my phone right now and I look at my son Robinhood account and see where his stocks done went up.
Yeah.
Off your 8 pair of Jordans. Because he got Nike stock.
Right.
So keep buying them. But
right.
that's what we do. So now because we trying to live vicariously through our kids, and we trying to recapture what we wanted as a child, as opposed to understanding what we needed. Our parents did what we needed, not what we wanted. So when we get older, we do what our kids want, thinking that it's the right thing to do. And that's not to shade nobody. It's just a misunderstanding. So that's why I say it's important that the people that do know, those of us do know, it's so important that we continue to share the information and try to put it out there. Everybody not gonna catch it, but some people gonna receive it. Some people gonna see this video and they're gonna rethink some things. They were like, man, B Love was right. I need to, man, G-Man, he said something that really stuck with me. So and that's all we can hope for.
Right.
That's really all we can hope for. Because like I say all the time, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
Right.
So
hey, you guys,
and they probably need to. We gotta move forward. And that's the harsh reality we don't want to deal with.
Right.
Everybody can't get on the boat.
Right. Hey, you guys, we thank you guys for joining the Burning Coast podcast, where we do live shows, and we do live shows every Tuesday right here on YouTube. We want to thank you guys, Ricky Spain, for joining the show. Ray Sim said, speak now, nothing but the truth. That's what Ray Sim said, speak now, nothing but the truth. So we appreciate you guys for joining. Make sure you guys continue to like, subscribe, hit that share button, hit the notification bell as well. So that way you won't miss nothing we'll be talking about here on the Burning Coast podcast. So, man, we really just dissected that thing, whatever. So can we get into this other video about the jab, the jungle juice? So we're going to get into what Rizal Islam talking about the jungle juice. And then we're going to give you our thoughts and opinions about the jungle juice. All right. So this talking about the C word, the C-Vax. All right. So here we go.
Fauci's daughter worked for Twitter, and I believe still does.
Wow.
It's critical on this, right? Because it's a little biased there, because now you have an in.
Mm-hmm.
He was in court, I believe 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Him and Jen Psaki, the former White House press secretary, they were being grilled. Mm-hmm. They was being grilled question by question by question. This is the first time where Fauci all of a sudden caught amnesia.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, brother, almost every response were these 3 words: I can't recall. There's the other side of that. So there are over 500 pages when it comes to his him being in court and that whole situation. So I recommend everyone go and read the transcripts from the court proceeding. They kept it away from social media, and they kept it away from mainstream media. Yeah. So it's like, wait a minute, that should have been on national news live. Fauci's being prosecuted for colluding with social media companies to silence and censor people, for speaking out when it comes to the virus and the shots and all that kind of stuff. That should have been on national news, but they specifically kept it out of mainstream. I said, okay, that's most people who pushed it were genuinely ignorant. Yeah. Genuinely. They were lied to about statistics. They had skewed data given to them. They were lied to by pharmaceutically sponsored reps. They had their celebrity friends. Some of them had doctors who were their cousins. They had, lawyers who were their mom, medical professionals who were their family. I get that. None of you were in the room when these concoctions were being created. You
Right.
don't know the long-term effects. Now they are coming out looking at everything that we were telling them was happening. In the early data, it's happening all over the place. From the miscarriages to the encephalopathy, they put a warning on there now saying myocarditis, heart swelling is happening abnormally in 18 to 34-year-olds. The U.S. Surgeon General over in Florida, he said we're going to put a halt on giving these shots to men 18 to 34 because they are showing high levels of heart swelling in the cardiovascular, in this whole thing from these shots. We're going to put a pause to it. Brother, it's happening. Scientists all over the world are saying we have to stop this. The parliament over in Europe, the European Union, they subpoenaed the CEO of Pfizer. He didn't show up. He sent his representatives. See, this should have been national news. And they questioned him. Representatives from Romania, representatives from France, representatives from Spain. They were questioning his representative about all this. Why did you send us over 100 pages of data from Pfizer that we requested blacked out? They put a gangster move on them. We sent you the papers. You didn't say you needed to read them, though. So they blacked out the words. And they said, wait a minute. We asked you about this data. You didn't give it to us. We asked you about this data. Now our people are suffering, and you're not giving us this information now, but now we find out you knew about some of these harmful effects during the trial. All of this stuff has been coming out, and now people are starting to see exactly what's going on, which is why Fauci is being prosecuted, which is why he's being brought before court, which is why now people are saying, man, Fauci is Fauci that. But he's not the only person who should be going to court. And that's my main point on that. Don't just use him as the fall guy. Him, the president, the former White House press secretary, all the surgeon generals who pushed it, all the policymakers who instituted it, everyone who enforced mandates from the New York mayor to the governor, all the way to California to this governor. Yes, you too. All of these people have to come under some level of accountability.
Man, listen, that brother said a whole lot. EQ. That brother said a whole lot when he's talking about this, the jungle juice that was taken, that they pushed on these people. Yes, the jungle juice. I'll call it the jungle juice.
First of all,
everybody acting crazy behind it when they was taking that jungle juice.
Well, trying to force people to take that, force people to take the vaccine was a direct violation of the Nuremberg Code. So, first of all, if they weren't taking it in their neighborhoods, why were we out there running to go take it? We didn't know.
With that $25 Walmart gift card.
Right. We didn't know anything about it. There was no clinical trials. They was just saying, oh, you need this. Why would you need anything to alter your God-given immune system? Or, most viruses run their course, which is basically what this COVID virus was. It was nothing more than just the upper respiratory system. I mean, as a matter of fact, the truth was coming out no sooner than those vaccines were being pushed, because you had there was a roundtable discussion with Senator Ron Johnson and all of these virologists, biologists. I mean, you name it. I'm talking doctors, nurses, and it was some brothers and sisters on this panel who were educating this senator on the illegal push of this vaccine, illegal COVID testing, how they fabricated the numbers, and all of this. But we, like you said, people ignorantly went out and got this vaccine without even letting it be proven to be effective. There were medicines that they could have given these people from the COVID virus, but that in the hospitals that they wouldn't even administer to these people. So, subsequently people died. And we got to stop ignorantly doing stuff just because the media says it. The media is controlled by the elites. We got to stop running out here because people say, you already know death is inevitable. Whether you got COVID, high blood pressure, whatever, we already know that. But these people, and I do agree with what this brother's saying, these people need to be held accountable. I'm from A to Z. Hold them accountable, lock them up, start with Fauci. Because these people knew that virus was created right here in the U.S. They knew that.
Well, a lot of our people went and took the loosey goosey
ignorance.
But they took the loosey goosey because of fear. And fear is what drove this whole thing, whatever. But they took
fear made a lot of people sick too.
Right, it did. I agree with that as well. But when you start talking about not feeding your family and they're attacking your job and saying you don't have no job if you don't take the loosey goosey, I'm telling you, that is what drove a lot of people in droves to go out there and just and because I've seen some people say I can't afford to lose my job. You know what I mean? I'm doing this because of my job. but you're not caring nothing about your long-term health. So what if you take this junk, which a lot of people did, and you start getting the effects of it 2-3 years later, whatever. Now this stuff is it's already taking a toll on your body to where you ain't gonna have no job in in the long run or whatever. It's like you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. But you're not going to have a job at the long run, whatever, because now you got heart issues or there's something that's going on with you long term that's going to stop you, prevent you from working. And then you don't have nobody to turn to hold accountable, because everybody that told you to take this, including the government, done told you to take this junk. And now you can't even turn to them and say, hey, I want to, who's going to be liable for me? I can't take care of my family. Who's going to be responsible for this? There's nobody responsible for it at all.
And see, that was all part of the plan. The plan was to make you sick. The plan was to kill you off. Haven't we had enough experiments in history that we should have learned from?
Right.
There was a lot. Okay, even with ADD, ADHD, all these medical issues that these children are having now, things that we're seeing now. I mean, haven't we had enough lessons in history that we should have learned something by now? When you don't see a bunch of white people running out there to get COVID tested and vaccinated, that should be an indicator that, hey, maybe I shouldn't either.
We was running to get a shot. They was running to buy guns.
Right. They out there buying bullets and doing target practice while we up in there fighting over toilet tissue and Lysol. That's crazy. But see, the thing of it is, now you have here's the silent pandemic now, because you have people who are dying from massive heart attacks, blood clots, aneurysms, strokes. I have a colleague who went and got boosted back in December, got her last booster shot, but so a couple of weeks ago had 18 seizures from Monday to Thursday. And before that, she was perfectly healthy individual. No medical issues. Oh, but we ran at the first sign of trouble when they said, oh, you're at risk because you're a black female, you're overweight, or you have a family history of this, that, and the third. Since when? If that's the case, what we're more at risk of is eating this food y'all putting in the grocery store that's been genetically modified and all got GMOs and whatever else, chemicals and in our water. They even said on the news this morning, they said pretty soon our water is going to taste different because they're doing something. Come on, we got to start paying attention to the signs. The signs are there. They're killing us through the air, through the food, through the water. Come on, what up? Through the medicine. People, you go to the hospital now, man, you might as well go on and go to Joseph, sign your death certificate and be done with it, because that's all by design, though.
And that goes back to the first subject that we were speaking about when it comes to eating. Like, we also need to learn how to fast so that we can weigh these things out. When the water is bad, or when the pandemic is going, and teach our kids how to go to the grocery store and pick out decent fruit. Instead of just running in and picking up a tomato, and hell, you get home and you can't even hold it up to cut it because it's so soft. All you gotta do is squeeze it a little bit and make tomato juice.
But even our fruits and vegetables are being tainted.
Exactly.
Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland. Now this is why they're telling you can't have a garden in your yard, because they don't want you to be healthy. Because
they don't.
Donald Trump gave us a warning, but people were so pissed off at him and so mad at him. This man told us exactly what to go out there and do, but we ignored it because, he's racist. Hey, sometimes you got to look past the stupidity, look past the
and the thing is, that man ain't no racist than them.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is, the media controls everything. They tell you when to be mad. They tell you when to forgive. They tell you when to be pissed off again. Just like now, ain't nobody said nothing else about R. Kelly. But when it's time for some to be hidden, another case with R. Kelly gonna come up, or something else with Bill Cosby gonna come up, or they gonna pin my boy Denzel Washington with something. Some gonna come to cover these stories. But
Get out my nerve. Hey, wait, look at that comment. He said
but the truth, the truth of the matter is,
oh wow.
they were afraid of Donald Trump because he was really giving true fact. He was telling us a lot of stuff, but I ain't gonna say us, because I wasn't tricked by nothing, because I ain't finna take nothing that baby, all them folks. If you got to pay somebody to come and get something that's supposed to be healthy for you,
right?
If that's the case, why y'all weren't paying people to wear their seatbelt?
Right.
Wear your seatbelt. Everybody instead of the cops pulling people over to get them a ticket for not wearing their seatbelt. If y'all care so much about us, why y'all wasn't pulling people over when they were wearing their seatbelt and handing out gift certificates or something of that matter? If y'all were so concerned about the American citizen,
right?
When it comes to money, because and they use money as a way to grab people in, because look what everybody was going through. People were losing their house, their cars. Some people wasn't eating. So things that they having to go into their life savings, they retirement. All of this just to be able to make ends meet. And here it is, you're offering $50 or $100 to come in, or a box of chicken. And I say they giving away churches to take a damn shot. Like, now.
First of all,
AP's door.
That church of chicken is worse than that shot.
You telling?
See the irony in this?
Like, really? Y'all giving away 2 pieces and a pepper and maybe probably about 5 fries for somebody to come up here.
I ain't ate a piece of church of chicken in 25 years. Because first of all, chickens don't grow that big. Ain't no way in hell. No chicken wing in this doggone big. Something
like
ain't
a baby
right.
arm.
Hey, but y'all know one thing they didn't tell us is how bad the suicide rate was during COVID. Man,
most definitely, especially for children.
Children, committing suicide. Then they used COVID. Let me show you what else they used COVID for. All these school shooters and mass shooters, they were training them cyberly how to carry out these attacks during COVID. They had these online platforms, these training camps online, training these mass shooters. They would find like young white boys who had mental illness or who suffered from depression or you name it. And they had these little secret clubs or whatever you want to call it online. And they were training them to carry out these missions. Like that whole Uvalde shooting. All that was just, that was not, it didn't happen the way the media portrayed it to happen. And it's like
that's called MK Ultra mind control. Those kids that are in Walmart and on the milk cartons that are missing, those are the kids that's going out and committing those crimes. If you think about it, every kid that committed a crime, where were their parents?
Expressed by all these members do not.
But you know what else? Here's something I saw on the news. The second school teacher in that Uvalde shooting, she was the same teacher at Sandy Hook. How is that? Go look up
the it's a lady that was at every school shooting. If you go look at, I'm gonna find that video for y'all. Now how your look that damn bad?
You got 9 lives.
You at every school shooting, like your kids was involved in every school shooting.
Right. Something ain't even right with that, the whole story. But back to COVID, y'all, we got to just stop being so ignorant, because now we're looking at people, y'all.
Please consult with your physician.
And not even him.
You better not consult with your physician, because you got to think about it too. Even before COVID, you had medications that were being prescribed that if you're having suicidal thoughts, come on, people, these folks do not care about you. Suicidal thoughts.
I mean,
you gotta take the good with the bad. Listen, you gotta take the medication that's gonna help your arm stop hurting. Now, it might make you suicidal. It might give you a heart attack. It might give you high blood pressure, but your arm not gonna be hurting.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you'll take some for your eye, but you'll end up looking like a bent back paperclip because it don't affect it some below. You know what I'm
So,
saying? So, like you said, your eye gonna be
Love
fixed.
do not reflect on
Well, I'm just saying, I'm telling the truth and shaming
Hey,
the devil.
hey,
Well,
babe. Hey,
But
going
what
on.
everybody,
in the business of
advice.
curing. They're in the business of treating. Cured patients don't come back.
That's right.
That's why they have to
That's
exactly.
why
treat
all
you.
these doctors and all these people are being found dead. I think we just had a comment that they were
Big
talking about
Pharma, I want y'all to know that it was EQ, B Dub, and B Love.
snitch.
So if y'all gonna see them people out to make them come up missing, it was not G-Man. Thank you.
Snitch. Look
If
at y'all.
you want to
Well,
take
I mean, I just feel like at
Put
some
it
point
down.
everybody should have used common sense when it
Common
came to that. And the first thing that you should think about is a virus. What is a virus? Never goes away.
It has to run
Never,
its course. Yeah.
never. A virus, once it's there, regardless if it's 1% or at 100%. Once it's there, it's there.
Right.
So it's never going away. So what are you taking these shots for? And then this is the thing that killed me the most. The people were taking the shots and then would get offended when somebody asked, "Did you take the shot?" Well, it ain't nothing wrong. It ain't nothing wrong with me right now. I feel good. It's not designed for you to pass the hell out right now. We talking about a long-term effect. When you walking in the store and your damn arm just fall off your body, then 2 years from now, then we know you took the shot.
At the
Right.
Souls podcast.
So it's not supposed to affect you right now.
Educational decisions made. And
Hey,
we applaud it.
I told y'all last week this video was gonna get us banned. But the most important thing you said, beloved, was common sense. That's what we don't use anymore. We are sheeple. As a whole, we are sheeple.
You're right.
We wait to be told what to do. Because if you use your common sense, even when they try to fearmonger everybody into taking it, even if you just listen to what they said, okay, it really only affects people who are young or elderly or have severe pre-existing conditions. If you don't fall into that category, then why are you taking a shot? I'm not a child. I'm not elderly yet. And I'm in pretty decent health. So if I did get it, more likely than not, it's just going to pass and I'm going to be all right. So why would I take something that could potentially do the same thing that my body is going to do itself? But with the side effect that, well, it might make it worse.
Right.
And now they're saying all of the people who got the vaccine are more susceptible to this new variant that they keep coming out with, which I stopped paying attention because it's like 822 different variants.
Right.
That anytime they want to fearmonger, when people stop getting scared and start going back outside, they come out with a new variant to push everybody back in the house.
Right. And then the final boss for them to make sure that you go and get the vax, they went and got Juvenile to vax that thing up.
Yeah, you better vax that thing up.
that was the final boss there. So
and I'm coming with the remix. You better back your ass up.
But these jobs, we touched on it earlier with the jobs though, because like I said before, like a lot of people at my job went and got their shot. They was lined up at the nurse's office because they were talking about, if you don't get it within a certain period of time, they're gonna let you go. But I say, hey, listen, the streets is always hiring.
Ooh,
Hey.
Well, first of all, B-Dub, ain't nothing about you. You ain't surviving on those streets. So,
Hey, man, let me live my life, man. Let me
podcast do not reflect those of anybody on this panel. You're not liable. Anybody who chooses not to get it and dies, you cannot sue us because we're not saying don't get it. We're just saying use your best judgment and do your research. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but I just fail to believe that you got Bill Gates who's acting as an expert in this vax, and from what I heard, I don't know how true it is. He didn't even agree. He didn't even get the vax. He didn't get the loosey goosey or the
Yeah,
jungle juice. He didn't
who
even
was
do it.
that was on national television? You know, when they were bringing everybody up to do the shot, you know, live, to take the shot live. Who was that?
That was your
That
president that faked that shot.
He faked that, man. I got to a whole full-fledged I got to a full-fledged disagreement over that. I said,
Okay.
how do you know? How do you know what was in that? You don't know if he took the shot or not. You don't know.
No,
That could have
it
been
wasn't
IV.
nothing in there.
Yeah,
She
but
didn't even like if they showed the video. If you go back, you look at the video. She didn't even give him like
She
it's
been
just
pushing in his arm.
yeah, it's just all fake. So
Yeah,
that
but-
right there alone should tell you
Allegedly.
if the president, the person who's mainly trying to tell you to take this shot, won't take the damn shot. Like, come on now.
Allegedly.
Right. But see, I got into a whole
Allegedly.
full-fledged. Yeah, I got into a full-fledged conversation. I mean, debate about that.
You
And
always
they called
defend
me.
somebody.
They called me a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, how do you know what was in that? If he
You
did
say
say that, how do
anybody
you
else-
know?
You are a conspiracy theorist.
You are a conspiracy. Yeah. Let's be
That's
clear.
okay.
You
That's
say
okay.
all
Know it all. They
the
called me
You-
one too.
you
but
might
I
have been
didn't-
right
You
about
say
that
whatever.
one.
Yeah, but I'm
You
like,
might be
man,
right about that one,
no.
That's
No,
okay.
definitely
Know it all.
not.
They
You don't
called me
know.
the same thing. I don't care.
We don't. Yeah, but
We call
just
you a lot
because
of things, EQL.
just because he went, just because they set it up, and that was just beautiful how they set it up and everything like that. Him sitting there in the couch, him sitting in the chair, and they talking about, oh man, this is the president of the United States. Look, he is taking the the vaccine and so on and so forth. I'm looking at everybody that was like clapping, and I'm looking like y'all are some freaking fools. How do y'all know what that man was taking? How do you know?
that was frosting flake juice.
I know Frosty
Hey,
Flakes.
that's I voted him in there, Sleepy Joe.
They was
Hey, man. But I just encourage people to again, like G-Man said, we're not telling you not to, and we're not
I'm telling
telling
you
you
not
to
to.
go do it. We're just saying,
Do it all.
we're just saying, don't be so quick to make moves. Just think about what you're doing, like research. If you don't know, ask. If you afraid, ask somebody that you feel like, and then just ask people, why are you not taking a shot? Just to see what they're gonna say. Maybe that'll spark something in your mindset. Because and what I want to know is, where the hell the chicken pox at?
right. Where the flu go?
Because we don't that we was taking shots for that. Smallpox, all that shit. Where is that?
What a monkeypox?
So
go?
where is COVID? Where is this gonna be days on end? What how is this shot gonna affect us long term? That's what I want to know. Well, I ain't gonna say affect us. How is this shot gonna affect them long term? Because like I said last night, if this is gonna be some 2-3 years down the road where they walking and all of a sudden they hungry for a human, I want to know. Because I don't need nobody just turning around and biting my damn arm off.
Right.
You know, like how is this gonna affect
I
the
can tell
world?
you. So we'll know. This is what 2023. So we'll know in a couple of years, because this is gonna last as long as Joe Biden and all his cronies can drag it out.
Right.
That's why they keep coming up with all this new stuff. Every time these independent studies come out and show that things are getting better, the numbers going down, and his approval rating start going down, suddenly there's a new variant.
Yep.
Everybody go, oh, we gotta do that. It's gonna go as long as he can drag it out. And if people out there, if y'all mess around and put that food back in there for 4 more years, we're gonna have COVID for 4 more years.
Crazy.
I'm telling you.
And another thing too, everything what people need to, that was really a test run. We ain't really went through the real. They was just seeing how much it was gonna take to put fear in our hearts. And so now, and in the coming years, what did we, when this all first hit, what did we go out and we bought the most? We bought tissue, we bought hand sanitizer, we bought Lysol, we pretty much anything that we thought would
Hold on.
100%
Can I-
kill the virus at that moment. So now
For a
the
second.
things that's gonna trigger that will help you get the virus quicker are gonna be put in those things because they know that's the first damn thing we run into next time they talking about shutting something down. Everybody finna run to get tissue. Everybody finna run to get Lysol. Everybody finna run to get hand sanitizer. All of these things that we ran and rushed and bought off the shelves, I promise you, it's gonna have something in it to affect your health in the long run. Because if all of that was a test run to see what were we gonna do
Yep.
with what
I-
the information that they gave us. So now they know what we scared of, and when we scared, what we going to get. So
Yeah,
everybody going to go buy tissue. We'll put some shit in this tissue.
right.
Two
Mask,
ply.
mask.
I don't know
If
they
it's
gonna do that.
2 ply, it get 2 shots. If it's 1 ply, it get it get this.
I don't know if they're gonna
Newspaper.
do that because that's gonna affect everybody. But if they want to get rid of black people, they're gonna put the shot in
But that-
anything Louis or Gucci because that's what we went about.
You ain't
So we can't
And
afford salad.
it's all population control. So they'll go and
But hey,
they like you
Order
said.
salad.
All of the
Hold on. I need to rant for a second.
Go ahead,
Because
Rand.
we need to talk about that.
What?
First of all,
Mask and plexiglass is what we did.
why
foolishness.
do you not have sufficient supplies in your house? Why are people running out to buy this stuff anyway? That's what
I think it
wanna
was.
know.
I think it was just
Why do
became
you
a fear
not have
factor.
at least a month's supply of all those things you mentioned? Toilet
Right.
paper, paper towels, Lysol, all that stuff. Why do you
And
not
leather.
have a month's supply on deck at all times? That's
So
what
we
I
don't-
want to know.
Because we
And
don't care
number
about nothing
two,
like that.
If it was the end of the world, or if all this stuff we on lockdown and all of that, wiping my butt is the last thing I'm worried about.
You
I'm
don't
just
wipe
saying.
your ass now here.
Like if I got a choice between buying food or rations or things that can help me live, that's more important. I can go take a shower if I need to. I'm just saying, like it doesn't even make logical sense. There's a virus out there, and you shouldn't go outside. Okay, well let me go buy up all the toilet paper I can buy.
They wasn't buying no condoms. They still raw dog.
Oh, you get on my nerves.
They was bagging that thing up, but wasn't vaccinating.
Hey, they gonna buy a lot of other stuff. They ain't buying no condom. They still on the field. That thing.
For real.
Still going to the hospital, having kids and everything, huh?
Okay.
But I just
Ass up and all.
a lot of people just became they. I think again it was a test to see what are people gonna jump to, what are people gonna run to, and some people had it. You got the say it was so many different levels to going and buying that shit. Some people bought it because they already kind of had some at home, but they didn't want to run out. Some people didn't have it at all, and then you got the hustlers. Baby, guess what? HEB ain't got no more tissue, but I got 1 roll for $8. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it was different levels to that buying that stuff off the shelf.
That's true.
Everybody had to find a way to survive. Like I literally had somebody.
Oh, he cute sleeping.
Call me.
Don't put mama to bed. Put mama to bed, son.
I'm sick of you. I can't stand you.
I literally had somebody to call me and ask, did we need any supplies? And I said, well, no, but I'm thinking that they giving it away. So I'm like, well, I'm thinking about the older, the old people that can't get out. Man, by the time I got the naming off all these people and, who thinking about who I can try to help, child, I got the total at the end. Baby, what's wrong with you? I'm not gonna pay. Really? That's what you calling around for, sir?
That ain't even double rolls.
But let's think about that for a second. This is going on. This is what we got to understand, and this is why I say everybody can't get on the boat. Because let's say this thing is what they say it is, or whatever, and we need these things. Your mindset is to let me go hoard as much as I can so I can overtax my own people that need these things when this is going on.
Yep.
Right.
Like let's think about that. But you're right. But you're right. I didn't think about it because now that I think about it, like I remember, I had stopped somewhere to get some gas. They had a whole pyramid of toilet paper at the gas station for like $5 a roll. I said, these people here out there crying. I'm just tripping because I'm like,
yeah.
I bet you it was Indian and Asian on.
Oh, you already know it was a Patel. Them Patels don't get their money.
The language
They
used
about
by
bad as them
these
July
does
people.
not reflect those of the
Oh man.
But that's real.
Well,
life,
if
though.
any Patels are listening, well, never mind. Let me stop.
The views and language by B Love does not reflect those.
I don't need you coming.
Well, I was looking for a Patel to marry, but hell, listen, that's another subject.
It's business, baby.
But I hope that everybody that took that shot, like I hope you got the insurance that you need in order to keep yourself like and try to find the most perfect and honest doctor that you can. Have y'all ever, since we talking about this shot and we didn't take it, did we look on the flip side to see maybe is it some type of way you can detox this shot out of your body, like detox that vaccine out of you to where you can, I ain't gonna say be whole again, but it won't affect you? Have y'all passed anything like that?
I'm looking for stuff like that, but here's the deal: somehow or some way they were trying to alter your messenger RNA. That's from what I understand and from what I've researched and just looked up myself. That's what the whole point of the vaccine was for. Now, as far as detoxing, I'm thinking once it's in your bloodstream or whatever.
It's
it's
no,
there.
It ain't. Get some castor in here. Gotta get all that out there.
Somebody get granddaddy. Somebody put granddaddy to bed.
Okay,
you get all that out.
Yeah,
a whole lot of water and a whole lot of exercise.
Nah, just get you some ENJ. That's all you need. Some ENJ, that'll get that out of there. Get it right out. That's earth and dirt. That's it.
MD
2020.
I want to get some corn biscuit. It'll get out of your system. It's just some corn biscuit.
Yeah, but I just wondered that, like, is it something that that you may be able to do?
What's that mouthwash? That brown one that tear your mouth up?
Listerine.
That brown Listerine, not that green one. That old brown.
Oh, that brown
you gotta get that OG with the alcohol.
Yeah, you gotta just drink it. Just drink it.
It'll get all that cold out of
you. Change your DNA.
Boy, that tear you up, man. Ooh, that brown one.
But though, just vaccinations, period. Like, I just don't recommend them for anybody at all. Like, the children.
I got all them kids out there.
The children, even the regular vaccinations that they're pushing. And I'm telling anybody this that's listening, if you have a school-age child and they're telling you that you have to have a vaccination for your child, you don't. Just go online, pull up the state waiver, and send that to school with them, and get it notarized and send it to school with them, and they'll be 100% fine. Your children do not have to have a vaccination to attend any ISD, any college, anything. They tell you it's mandatory because they want to put that junk in your children, but it is not mandatory. Go online, fill out the waiver, and it is good. Once you get it notarized, you'll have to renew it every year, and they'll send you however many pages that you need for that because you might need it in
Burning
several
Cold
different
Podcast,
places.
we are not a legal a
So,
legal entity.
well,
We
you,
cannot
I mean,
provide legal advice.
that's,
Y'all
but
say
you're saying that, but that's not nothing that's really a secret. You'd be surprised how many children do not have vaccinations.
fine.
Please
Yeah.
consult a legal an attorney.
Y'all, I'm gonna go to bed. I got.
All
Oh,
right,
we
yeah.
already know.
Okay. Yep. So we gonna
Mr.
go ahead.
Earl,
Yeah, we go.
Mr.
Yeah.
Earl.
We gonna go
I
ahead and
can't
we gonna go
stand
ahead and we gonna go ahead and close on that. Whatever, man. You got anybody got any last remarks?
you have
before
any
we go
more
ahead and close it
comments
out?
in the comment
Fuck
section?
them kids.
The
Go
comment
back.
section.
Good night.
Yeah, the man that invented the COVID vaccine, they found him dead. Somebody strangled him because he was going to talk about it. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a video
Yeah.
for that. I was gonna put it up, but I was having some difficulty with it.
Yeah.
Russian dude's name Andreev something Bodachek.
Boy, I thought you
But,
were talking
yeah.
about
Don't worry about it,
Andre.
B-Dub. You just don't worry about it.
And then they said, oh, Ray Sims also said that's why you put your trust in God, not man. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So everybody got final remarks? Final remarks before we get ready to close out tonight.
Yeah, they probably didn't strangle that man.
Go ahead, G-Man.
If ain't nobody told you they love you today, we do. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Amen. B-Love, go ahead.
They didn't strangle that man. They gave him 2 COVID shots. Yeah, and left him in the house by himself for 2 weeks. That's how he died. Yeah.
Y'all look at the picture. That picture is hilarious.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Representing for the West Side with the pudding pop.
Hey, Bill Cosby was found innocent. Leave him alone.
That's right. Free
You
Bill
heard.
Cosby.
Yeah, but we gonna say this.
There's a lot of models out there. Let's go out to them now. Come on.
Hey,
Yep.
Burning Coast Podcast giving you a bag moment. We're gonna tell you guys, look, before you go and do anything, whatever, consult with your physician first. Consult with them and see what your physician say, and go from there. All right. So now that you got the bag, what you're gonna do with it? So we are the Burning Coast Podcast. We like to tell everybody thank you for joining the show. Make sure you stay tuned for with us, and be with us every Tuesday right here on YouTube. We go live every time. We go live every Tuesday at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you do not want to miss the next show we're talking about. We're going to be having a discussion where we are talking about connections and networking. And you don't want to miss what we talking about next time, all right? B-Love, Bougie Weirdo, EQ, G-Man, and I am Mr. Know It All Reaction. We say so long, and we say good night.
Night.
This dude here.